conversation with us, we have Delhi University Vice Chancellor Professor Yogesh Singh with us today. Thank you for speaking with the Prince, sir.
Thank you.
So I'm going to jump right into the conversation and start off by talking about the latest slew of measures that have been taken to bring parity in admissions in DU. So, sir, 100% cutoff obviously became a big talking point in the media this year, but this is something that's been happening in DU since 2011. That was the first time the cutoff touched 100%. So what brought about, these measures now? Because, right before it happened, there were comments from DU professors calling it marks jihad. Students from Kerala became a big issue, and considering how polarized.
I don't take it that way. I am very happy that we are getting good number of students from Kerala. Reason is Kerala is a very far state from Delhi, but Delhi University is very popular in Kerala students. So, and we are getting good number of bright Kerala students. But issue is not that. What we are looking here is a bigger issue. The boards which are lenient, where students have better chance to get admission in good college of Delhi University. But there are boards which are not that lenient. They are slightly strict boards, and their students are not having chances, although they are also very bright, they are not having fair chance in the admission process. For example, UP board. UP board is comparatively not that lenient board. Why should I say tight board, but not lenient board. And we are getting very few students from Uttar Pradesh board. But, and if we talk about the southern states also, we are very happy to have so many Kerala students in University of Delhi. But we are not getting students in that proportion from Tamil Nadu, from Kerala, from Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, even Karnataka. So there is a disparity. And so we thought, let us debate, deliberate, and try to find other ways of admitting students. And one way is through entrance test, so that there is a common filter for everyone. Our academic council has approved the proposal of the committee, which was constituted to look into this aspect of admissions. And tomorrow is executive council meeting. And let us see what happens.
So, sir, two questions there. In your previous interview, you had mentioned that, even now you mentioned that either there will be an entrance exam or you'll go with CUCET. So, and there were 16 dissent notes in the AC meeting. So, and one of the main arguments remains that, students will not be able to afford coaching centers which might prop up. So, will there be some kind of mechanism which will set the level of these entrance exams so that students don't have to rely on that measure?
No, whether we conduct our own entrance test or we join CUCET. This argument is valid in both the cases, but 16 teachers have given their dissent in the academic council. It happens sometime. But academic council size is not 13 or 14 or 18 people. This is a house of 110 or more than 110. And everyone supported this, but they have their own views. It's fine. It's a democracy.
Fair.
And they have their own apprehensions. Regarding coaching, quite possible, but this is a better way of admitting students. And this system may provide a better chance, a fair chance to everyone. And all students are very dear to us. We want to provide them a level playing field. That's the objective.
Right, sir. So, coming back to my question, so will there be some level that will be decided for this entrance exam, level of difficulty?
It doesn't make any difference. If question paper is difficult, if it is difficult, then merit will come down. But if it is easy, it is easy for everyone. If it is complex, complexity is for everyone. So if they are coming through the same filter, it is in the interest of students and it is in the interest of the education system.
Right.
So I am all for it, but my views are dependent on the decision of the executive council. If executive council decides otherwise, then we will implement that.
Right. So, sir, which do you think, in your opinion, is a better option? To use own entrance exam or the CUSET?
It's okay. Both sides is okay.
Okay. And which way do you think the Executive Council is leaning from your?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I am quite hopeful that they will support the proposal.
Okay. So, sir, you've also mentioned a lot that you want DU to improve in its ranking, in the
Yes.
Times ranking, in the QS ranking. So, one aspect in ranking is also placement, and you are quite known for getting very good placement in DTU. Do you think that is something that you will be, ensuring for humanities students in particular? Because for technical students, it's very easy to get good package. But what about students in Miranda? Or
Because for technology students, there is a system in the country and mindset also. Companies are coming to technology institutions to take students from there. But here we don't have that system in the conventional education system of humanities and social sciences. But yes, definitely we would like to work on that. And I'm quite hopeful that we will have some success stories in coming years. Yes, we will focus on that also.
Right. So, sir, the FIUP is also quite, it's almost there. Like you have to start its implementation in a couple of months now. What has been the progress on developing the first year's curriculum?
We have constituted a national education policy cell. Now they are working on the structure first. But we have some limitations as on today. The reason is what? University Grants Commission has not released the National Higher Education Qualification Framework. We are waiting for that. I am quite hopeful that within few weeks we will have that. So then we will work accordingly. But yes, 4 years undergraduate program will be a success, and we will give total flexibility to our students, and it will be a student-centric approach. Students will decide what they want to study. They will have maximum possible flexibility. They can decide their courses. And then, teachers also, they also have to think about it. Now, complacency will not help us. They have to change and prepare new subjects also, which are very important nowadays. So, it's a challenge for everyone. But I am quite hopeful that successful implementation of this program will help our young generations.
Fair enough. Okay, so here's another important cultural aspect of DU, which I think is quite unique, so to say, is the student activism in Delhi University. And we've seen, because of the pandemic, student general body elections have not been able to happen. Do you think it's something that will continue in the year to come, given the state in the country?
Every institution is very different, and every institution has its own culture and its own value system. So we should respect that. When it comes to the election, student elections, I'm all for student elections, but let us wait for the improvement in the total scenario. Right now, DDMA guidelines is 50% capacity. You have to operate 50% capacity. This is not a cinema hall. Universities are not cinema halls. And universities are also not playing fields. It is beyond that. And we have admitted good number of students. Our teachers are working very hard through online classes to save the time and the year of our students. Last 2 years were very challenging for everyone, and our teachers could save 2 years of our students. We have to think in that way. But yes, we are waiting for the right time to open the university, and waiting for, as soon as things will improve, DMA will issue guidelines for 100% attendance or 100% capacity. Immediately we will open the university.
Right, sir.
But otherwise, if we open, but we have already opened many things like projects, practicals, case studies, even field work also we are open. But classes, like theory classes online, this will happen only after getting approval from the disaster management.
Yeah. So, sir, do you think you had mentioned that hostel rooms is something that is going to be an issue of concern because you cannot accommodate as many students as you could before. So, is there anything that's happening in order to help students with that?
Not only hostels, but classrooms also. We have limited size in our classroom. They can accommodate 60, 80, 100 students. And 50% capacity, it will be 30, 40, 50 students. Then we have to conduct offline, online classes simultaneously. Then the timetable is a big issue here. But beyond that, some students are in the classroom, and we say some students cannot come. That is also not fair. From the student's perspective, right now, all are feeling that it is not allowed, it is not allowed. We can come for the practicals, we can come for something. But I am quite for first year to third year undergraduate studies, I am of the opinion that we should open for practicals, projects and such things, and those students who are from far places, they can do projects after, and practicals after some time also. But we would like to open that very soon for everyone.
So students have been, raising this concern that, if, like you mentioned, that there are students who cannot come, who live in far off places, may have problem with internet, etc. So these students have complained over the last 2 years that, they do not get reading material, course material, because they do not have access. So is there anything that is being done in order to provide for such students reading material, course material online that they can download possibly?
Yeah, I do understand the difficulty of our students. If they don't have course material, but most of the material related to a particular course are available on university website. But if there are specific requests, we will consider those requests accordingly. But like 2 years now, everyone has passed through this difficult time, and let us hope that. But we can't do right now anything in terms of opening without considering the outside conditions. That's the only hitch here.
Nice.
But if there are students who are having difficulty even in the course material, I request through you that they should contact the respective head of the department, and we will ask head of the departments to provide course materials through other ways of communication.
Right. So, sir, acting VC sir, Joshi sir, in a previous interview with the Print had said that with the IOE tag, he really hopes that DU will be able to set up an international campus. How far do you think are we from that aspirational?
It is too early to say right now. It is too early for me to say, because I have to understand the whole subject of opening an international campus. Right now, our focus is to improve the infrastructure of University of Delhi, to construct new hostels, to construct academic blocks, to renovate the old buildings, and strengthening the health facilities in Delhi University, to improve the ICT infrastructure in terms of bandwidth, Wi-Fi connectivity, so many things. So we are working on all those subjects, and then the most important is the recruitment of teachers. So right now we are working on these subjects, but yes, IOE is a matter of pride to all of us. We are in the process of opening new departments under IOE, and IOE is also taking steps to improve the research culture in the university. And if that, we are able to improve the research culture, obviously the ranking will improve, and we will have better ranking next year or next to next year or next to next to next year. It's an ever-growing, ongoing process.
Right. So, sir, Last year, the National Commission for Other Backward Classes had come to DU to check the rosters, etc. There were issues that were raised saying that professors from SC, ST or OBC category do not get equal representation in DU. Is this an issue that you are?
I don't think. We have asked every principal and all head of the departments, please work on your roster, get the approval from the university and advertise the positions. We have not received like any complaint now. I think roster issue has stabilized here.
All right. So this is my last question to you. We've seen like very quick progress being made in decisions ever since you've joined the Delhi University. So we all are keeping very high hopes with your appointment. So what should we be expecting in the months to come, in the immediate months to come? Any new policy implementation or?
Administration is a very slow and steady process, but the point is direction should be right. I can assure you that we will work in the right direction and take all necessary steps which a university should take to improve the quality of education in the university. If I say prioritization, like some of the priorities like recruitment of teachers, improving the infrastructure, construction of new hostels, new academic blocks, and the process is on. And I think within 6 months, people will see many things on ground also. We are working on that. And we have started the Faculty of Technology also, requested government, and government is ready to support us. And I am very hopeful that new teaching departments will also add value in the culture of University of Delhi.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking with us. So that was Delhi University Vice Chancellor Professor Yogesh Singh talking about what should we be expecting from the latest developments in Delhi University with regards to administration, recruitment of teachers, etc. This is Sonia Agrawal with Sukriti Vats. Please keep watching The Print. Thank you.
Thank you.